Hello. In this video, I will be covering the basic things you need to do to start up and eventually win on the Conquerors 3. However, the execution of what you should do will vary map to map, but will ultimately be the same concept all around. For the initial part of this video, I will be using the 2 islands map due to the fact that it is a tutorial map in the game. There are 3 main points you need to keep in mind within the video. They are splitting and expanding your troops and economy, diplomacy if necessary, and analyzing and countering your opponents. I will be explaining what each of these points mean. Take note of our starter units. We have the scout, the light soldiers, and the construction soldier. And each of these units have a specific purpose in obtaining the win for you and your team. Referring to the first main point, you'll want to start splitting and expanding your economy, sending the construction soldier to the beach, sending your scout opposite ways of your main soldiers. You'll want to send the soldiers to the closest power plant. The reason for this is because we have not allied anyone. Blue could be a hostile threat, but also black, who's on the opposite side of the island. Now, consider the situation. This is a 2v2v2 game mode. It is crucial that you select an ally from the same island. Depending on which ally you get, you will need to rotate your troops accordingly. In this situation, we will consider blue a hostile threat, so we will maintain our current presence at this power plant. If black was hostile, I would rotate my troops to the other side and rotate my scout where my other troopers were. But for the sake of the video, black is our ally, so we'll make a power plant at his base, thus further expanding our economy. Referring back to our light troopers, the reason we set them there is in case of blue attacking us. This is where analyzing will be necessary. If blue starts making troopers from barracks, you will need to counter it by making a barracks probably on the hill or back at home base. However, if blue does nothing, you should also do nothing. Now, return back to your construction soldier, which should already be a construction yard, and place docks if necessary. For certain maps, it would be wise to get a couple oil, but don't be overzealous. You might need to get a hovercraft or a transport, depending on the situation. Taking note of the current situation, the enemy has no docks and has done nothing whatsoever. So I decided to use a transport instead of anything else. Typically, if an enemy already has docks, I would go with the hovercraft instead, as a hovercraft is far more effective and efficient versus a simple transport ship. Now that our transport is finished, we will continue to expand our economy by going to the other island. Depending on the situation, you should send at least a couple troopers. But in this case, the enemy has done nothing, so I'll just send a mere scout to their island. In a real match, you'll probably want to already have barracks and get at least 6 heavies over to their island, merely to secure your claim on a power plant in case the enemy retaliates. Now that concludes our basic tutorial. You should take either crystal here and develop your victory from this. To finalize, I must point out that the use of these 3 tips requires fast pacing and synchronization. You cannot do one while ignoring the other. You must keep tabs on everything, or else you risk losing the entire match. And stay tuned for an upcoming video showcasing a simple yet effective strategy along with a popular misconception for beginners and experienced alike.